Serbia is attempting something few small European militaries have dared in recent years, building a layered air and ground defense architecture that blends Western and Chinese technology into a single, pragmatic shield. The centerpiece above the clouds will be French Rafale multi-role fighters. The mid-altitude ring is already anchored by China's FK-3 surface-to-air missile system. The lower tier is being thickened with upgraded Pacers, 16 anti-drone trucks and other point defense assets. Around this core, Belgrade is modernizing its artillery with the fully automated NORA B-52 NG and signaling export ambitions through systems like the Tamnava multiple rocket launcher now parading in Cyprus. Together these moves sketch a hybrid model, part geopolitics, part engineering compromise, that could become a template for small states seeking fast capability gains without waiting a decade for one perfect ecosystem to arrive. The aviation pillar is the most politically visible and strategically elastic piece. On August 29, 2024, Dassault Aviation signed a contract in Belgrade for 12 Rafale to equip Serbia's Air Force and air defense, in a ceremony attended by Presidents Emmanuel Macron and Aleksandar Vučić. The French manufacturer's release formalized what Parisian and Belgrade sources had trailed for months, a generational leap from Serbia's legacy Soviet-era fighters to a NATO-standard platform with a deep support package. Reporting in major European outlets subsequently put the transaction at roughly €2.7 billion for 9 single-seat and 3 two-seat aircraft, with deliveries expected toward the end of the decade. For Belgrade, Rafale is not merely a prestige buy. It is a mobile air defense and precision strike asset that can surge to threatened sectors, escort high-value assets, and plug gaps that static batteries cannot. Rafale's appeal to a smaller air arm is its breadth. The aircraft's sensor fusion, radar performance, and mature weapons ecosystem let Serbia project a credible deterrent without sustaining a large, diverse fleet. In practical terms, that means quicker scramble times for air policing, the ability to contribute to a national recognized air picture, and flexible tasking from interception to standoff strike. The deeper significance is institutional, shifting training pipelines, maintenance methods, and tactics toward Western standards, which in turn affects everything from communication security to joint planning. Beneath the fighter cover sits the FK-3, the export variant of China's HQ-22. Serbia's FK-3 batteries were delivered earlier in the decade and, crucially, defense authorities announced full fielding in early January 2025. That milestone made Serbia the first European operator of a modern Chinese medium-range SAM, a signal that Belgrade is prepared to mix suppliers if it accelerates coverage and reduces cost. In capability terms, FK-3 fills the altitude and range band that catches cruise missiles, unmanned aircraft, and conventional air-breathing threats transiting to or from higher tiers. It is not a silver bullet, no single system is, but it densifies the air defense lattice and complicates any adversary's planning. Why opt for a Chinese mid-layer while buying a French fighter? The answer is part availability, part timelines, and part financing. Serbia needed medium-range coverage now, not in 5 to 7 years, and the FK-3 could be delivered as a turnkey package with radars, command vehicles, and logistics. The trade-offs are familiar: interoperability, cyber assurances, sovereign control of software, and a service pipeline that runs outside NATO supply chains. Those are manageable risks if Belgrade invests in a strong national command and control layer that can broker disparate data formats while keeping sensitive networks segmented. The lowest tier is where today's wars are won or lost, because that is where cheap, ubiquitous drones probe for seams. Serbia's Pacers 16 truck-mounted system, pairing a 40mm Bofors cannon with short-range missiles, has been showcased in an upgraded form with explicit counter-UAS features at the Partner 2025 Defense Exhibition in Belgrade. The refresh emphasizes radar cueing, electronic warfare effects against small UAVs, and flexible loadouts that let units tailor their mix of guns and missiles to the threat. This is exactly the layer that keeps medium systems from being saturated and gives ground units a fighting chance against reconnaissance quadcopters and low-slow munitions. Layered defense works only if the layers actually talk, and that is Serbia's central engineering challenge. The architecture that makes sense is a sovereign C2 backbone. FK-3 batteries feed sanitized tracks into a national picture through gateways. Pacers-equipped units operate on short-range fire control networks tuned for low-altitude clutter. Rafale crews tap their own secure links and national data links, using the common picture for situational awareness rather than tactical control over foreign systems. The crux is interface, identification, friend or foe harmonization, and cyber hygiene. Serbia will need careful air-gapping of sensitive subsystems, disciplined configuration control, and rigorous testing to ensure the whole behaves as designed under electronic attack. What is happening on the ground complements the air picture. The NORA B-52 NG represents a marked evolution in Serbia's self-propelled artillery, a fully automatic loader with 30 projectiles and propellant charges, a sustained rate of fire up to 4 rounds per minute, and a halt to first shot time on the order of 1 minute. With extended range projectiles and VLAP rounds, the system reaches deep enough to threaten command posts and logistics nodes, while automation reduces crew exposure and shortens shoot-and-scoot cycles. For a force that must assume GPS degradation and frequent UAV surveillance, compressing the time from decision to displacement is a survival skill, not a luxury. Belgrade's modernization drive is not simply inward-facing. In October 2025, the Cyprus National Guard publicly paraded Serbian-made Tamnava multiple rocket launchers, truck-mounted systems with modular pods for 122mm rockets, marking one of the clearest appearances of a new Serbian artillery product in an EU state's order of battle. While the contract details remain opaque, the public debut shows that Serbia's industry can find niches abroad when it offers rapid delivery and practical upgrades over legacy launchers. The export signal matters at home too. Scale and foreign user feedback feed back into production runs and incremental design improvements. The political calculus behind these choices is straightforward. Buying Rafale ties Serbia closer to a major EU defense ecosystem and diffuses some of the diplomatic friction that comes with reliance on Russian kit, especially for sustainment and upgrades. Paris views the sale as strategically meaningful. French press and officials have described it as a lever to nudge Belgrade closer to Europe even as it retains autonomy in other areas. At the same time, completing fielding of a Chinese SAM underscores that Serbia will not surrender procurement flexibility, an approach that invites criticism but delivers capabilities on a 2023 to 2026 calendar rather than a 2030+1. Regionally, the net effect is a more complex airspace for any would-be aggressor and a more credible quick-reaction posture for Belgrade. Rafale can surge to threaten corridors and prosecute targets detected by national sensors. FK-3 batteries force adversaries to waste standoff munitions on decoys and outer rings. Pacers-equipped units protect critical points, logistics clusters, and maneuver brigades from the drone swarms that increasingly shape ground combat. None of this eliminates risk, no air defense does, but it raises the cost of coercion and reduces the probability that a limited raid could achieve political aims without escalation. There are real risks and frictions. Interoperability is an ongoing project, not a switch you flip. Individual operators, maintainers, and planners need new habits. Spare parts politics can bite at the worst moment. Cybersecurity in a mixed fleet is a permanent campaign. And budgets will be tested by the competing demands of munition stockpiles, training flight hours, and the constant churn of counter-UAS technology. But these are the ordinary pains of modernization, not unique to Serbia. The measure of success will be whether Belgrade can institutionalize a rigorous test-and-learn loop, validating data links, rehearsing joint tactics, and iterating configurations quickly based on what units actually encounter. If Serbia follows through, fielding Rafale with the right training and weapons, hardening its C2 and IFF interfaces, saturating the lower tier with competent anti-drone units, and keeping artillery crews fast and mobile, the country will have built a layered defense credibly tailored to its geography, budget, and risk profile. It will still be a hybrid, and therefore imperfect, but it will be timely, resilient, and and good enough to deter. In a Europe that is rearming unevenly and often slowly, that combination may prove more valuable than textbook purity.